Hey guys, I'm Morthadon and we are back for episode 4 of Parasyte the Maxim. So, last episode we met Tamiya Ryoko, who is a very cool character. I like that she is, one of the parasites, but a bit more calm and intellectual than the ones we've seen previous, who have seemed more violent and everything. As we see with Mr. A, who we've seen him in other episodes before, but we were really introduced to him and our main character, who are about to fight now. Ryoko seems to think it could be a difference in maturation. I wonder if that has to do with she's our first female host, right? Now there is the whole thing where like women mature faster than men as they're growing up, so I wonder if because she got a female host, is that why she has matured like a little bit faster? If it kind of like goes in line with that, or is it just her specific parasite that went in was just biologically matured faster? I don't know. Anyway, interesting stuff. I'm excited to see this fight. We have obviously Migi is going to be doing the brunt of the work, distracting, while we have, Shinichi with a pole ready in his belt on his back, ready to try to surprise Mr. A. So will it go according to plan? We kind of know the plan, so when we kind of know the plan, usually that means something goes wrong, but I'm sure our main character is not going to die in the 4th episode. But that'd be crazy if he did. So let's watch the episode and find out. Alrighty, we're going to start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Ugh, hate. At least Migi doesn't always look so, like, fleshy. It's like he chooses to look creepy. I don't remember if I said it. Did I say it out loud? Or did I think it after an episode ended? But at the end of the opening, he has like slicked back hair, and I don't think he has his glasses on. Is that supposed to be his like Superman identity? And then the normal Shinichi is his like Clark Kent kind of thing? Is that gonna be his like cover? Is just like put his hair up and take his glasses off? And that's when he's like he talked about wanting to go around and help people. So it'll be like his hero outfit. Very good song. Like, I'm not usually like big into like the more heavy metal stuff, but yeah, that right there. Interesting. I guess he does look a lot different. I could maybe mistake him if I didn't know him very well. Nice. Oh my god! I like how you can still kind of see it. Like some animation for something like this, you would only see like the sparks or something, but we can actually see the arms making movements. That's cool. No, we're hearing the plan before he executes it. We're hearing even more of the plan. Look at that eel-looking motherfucker. You're just walking towards him? Is he just gonna know? Damn. That one was close to take a button off his shirt. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the human's gone at this point. I don't know if that was enough. Uh-oh. I guess... Oh my god. Okay, Migi said so. Yeah, he could still make a move before he... Oh. Oh. Damn. Yeah, he stopped the bleeding. Or at least somewhat of the bleeding. I was gonna say, like, couldn't Migi, like, attack him right now? Don't underestimate humans, man. Do you know about the machine guns and shit? I guess they might be fast enough to deflect bullets. Ugh. Oh, shit. He's gonna try to go after her. What if he got in the baby? Huh, see ya. Oh, shit. An oxygen explosion. The father. I wanted to see the mother again. Okay, good. I don't think that's her. For some reason, I thought the girl that we saw in the opening that then had her face, like, get torn, like she was infected. It looked like she went from being younger to older. I thought that might have been Shinichi's mom, but I don't think it is. I think that's a different lady. But I kept waiting to see Shinichi's mom again while I was actually thinking about it to, like, actually look. That's the... I do like how everyone looks, like, fairly normal. But because of that, sometimes a lot of the people look very similar. Uh, oh shit, who's she gonna say? Uh-oh. Oh shit. No! I wanted to be on the same side as her. Ah, so if you kill her, you'd be killing a human. Oh shit. I didn't really think about that. This is what I talked about. Flies and spiders don't have, like... I always hate that example because they don't have sentience like we do, right? No, they just have the mental capacity to overcome. What? Interesting. Was that like a commercial break or something? I don't know, it just felt like a weird cut. Of course. Well... Ugh. Huh, she sent something in him. Maybe the fact that he's the one that stabbed Mr. A? That it's minimal, but you're not pure? He's had that little taste of killing. Oh, well. Oh, shit. Damn it. I also don't want her to change her face. Which she's... I mean, I imagine that's what she's gonna do, right? Unless she tries to keep the face. You're not my daughter. Oh, the mom can tell. Mother's intuition. Oh, this poor mother. Oh, fuck. Guess you wouldn't get a mother's intuition. Probably, like, little things, like the way she looked at her mom, right? Like she had very, like, what? What? Miki can separate? What are you doing under the covers? 3 minutes. Hmm. I have a feeling that's going to become a thing. We never saw Mr. A, like, after the explosion. Are we just to assume that he's dead? I never assume anything in anime. Hmm. Oh, mothers are too clever. Yep. Oh, what's up with her arm? Wait, did you guys see that? Hmm. What is that? Well, I guess they showed us and now they're gonna talk about it. Convenient. Uh-oh. Oh no, gonna like get burned or something? Oh, the pot. Oh jeez. Oh. Oh. Yep. She cared more about Shinichi than. Yep. Damn. Where'd they get that? Oh, never mind. He made it with his hand. Oh. The poor mom. That would be inconvenient. Dad said that so casually. To be fair, teenagers do this kind of thing all the time. Hmm. All right. No. I get so paranoid about whether I forget to turn the stove off. Sometimes I check 2 or 3 times before I walk away that I have it like turned off. Oh fuck. What are you up to? She's not far along at all. You can feel it move. I don't know how all that works. I've never had a kid, and I'm definitely not a woman that would have a kid. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes to be able to feel it move. And she's this parasite thing that has like a lot of control over the body shape and everything. You know what I just realized? Have all the parasites we've seen, other than Migi, only morph the head? I think so, right? Have we ever seen one morph like an arm into a weapon? I just realized that. Like, Shinichi mentioned that it's human from the head, or from like the neck down, right? I didn't really think much of it at the time. I was just like, I mean, the whole body, they've taken over the functions of all the body, right? But interesting. Huh. Alright. That is it, guys, for episode 4. 4. Anyway, a lot of interesting stuff this episode again, so I know we had last episode, they talked about how the baby is a human, but that's one thing that I didn't factor whatsoever, is the fact that, you know, Shinichi's not going to want to kill a human, and that kind of keeps Ryoko a bit safe, at least from Shinichi, because Shinichi isn't going to want to, like, kill the baby. So yeah, that was something I didn't even factor in until they mentioned it this episode. So props for like, it's so obvious, but I didn't even think of it. Um but we dealt with Mr. A seemingly, although we never saw every other one they've showed us it shrivel up and die. This time we didn't see it shrivel up and die. So the question is like, did that happen? We don't know. Like, for all we know, Mr. A's out there. For all we know, Mr. A joined and shared the host with Ryoko, and maybe we just don't realize it, and that could be a thing in the future, right? Like, what if another one takes over, like, the arm of Ryoko kind of thing, kind of like what happened to Shinichi. And then, now we taught Mr. A the concept of using Migi as a distraction and then having another entity attack. So what if we see that in the future? It doesn't have to be Ryoko, but really any of these guys. What if there's two in one body, one controlling the head, one controlling an arm? You're so focused on the attacks coming from the head that then the arm makes a strike, right? Like, I feel like that could be very much something that we see in the future. That kind of just came to me. So very interesting. And yeah, now that Mr. A saw that, he can use that information kind of thing. But yeah, he was so shocked that he was like attacked by a human. They when you only view them as food, you don't, like, he wasn't really viewing them as a threat, right? And Shinichi also doesn't really come off as like the threatening type either. So that added on to it it was really interesting. But yeah, that's kind of what I was saying during that time. Like, humans have all kinds of weapons. I mean, for any of you guys that haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, some Hunter x Hunter spoilers right now. It kind of reminds me of that, where like they're so focused on their own like individual strength that they didn't really like factor in other things. Like, they should have had the knowledge that there were bombs in this world in Hunter x Hunter, right? Yet the Chimera ants were just like, oh yes, I am stronger than you based off this aura thing, and then he got bombed. So it's like, with these bombs, weapons, like, I don't know if their bodies are just human, unless they're capable of deflecting every single bullet that's shot at them. All it takes is a bullet to the right spot and you can kill one of them, right? Like, hell, just find a way to identify these things and just start sniping them, right? Like, I imagine their little fleshy blades can only travel so far, right? So, I mean, granted, the reverse is true. If we can use weapons, they can use weapons too. So, hell, I mean, they were just talking about, what did they say actually? Because I think I was either writing something down or I was just thinking about something else. But there was a part where they were in the room and they were talking about guns. And that's funny because I was just mentioning that today. I think was it farther? My kind tends to congregate in urban areas where food is plentiful. Not to mention they tend to target solitary individuals. If those who are taking a trip to the countryside, they should be even safer than they are now. Yeah, okay. And then the mom came in. What did they say something before when they were first scrolling through? Here we go. I guess I didn't go far enough back. Oh, so okay, it's just researching guns. Interesting. So Migi didn't really say anything about them, but it's just funny that, yeah, okay, I just read this. Yeah, so Migi didn't say anything about them, but was able to make a gun, like Morphagun. Like, could it function? Could Migi shoot with that? Or is it just like, oh, I can make it look like a gun? I don't know. That's like a whole nother thing. Like, if they can just form guns out of their flesh that can actually fire, that's pretty scary, because that gives them ranged attacks as well. So yeah, that's a bit spooky, but we'll have to wait and see whether that's the case or not. It's very possible that Migi can just morph it, but the fact that Migi can make the body part like black, I mean, I guess Migi can make a blade, so it makes sense that it can make a gun, right? But that's crazy. Like, what else can it morph into then? If it, man, that like opens up so many. Dude, this show could go fucking buck wild, man. Like, it could go insane. Like, not only do we have the idea that Migi can separate for 3 minutes, but Migi can also morph into pretty much whatever. So, like, technically, could Migi transform into a sword, and then it could become, like, you know those anime where sometimes either, like, people turn into weapons that then another person wields? Or something like that. It could be something like that, where Migi turns into these weapons that Shinichi then gets to wield. Like, that'd be nuts. Because they can separate for 3 minutes. Like, not only could, I mean, like, leaving the separation alone, Migi could maybe just turn into a giant blade on the arm, which would be badass, right? But I don't know. That's pretty crazy. Now, we did have, like, the idea that they're given a directive, right? Like, Ryoko seemed to hint that it's more like an intuition, like a spider weaving a web and stuff like that. It's just something that you're born with, that's just instinct, right? But then also talked about, like, a directive, like when she took over the brain, it was a directive to devour humans. And that's also interesting because, like, is it an actual directive? Like, I theorized that these parasites were man-made, right? Did someone make these parasites in order to wipe out humans? I wonder. Where was, yeah, why do you kill people? Let's listen to this again. My right hand is being kept alive by my blood, and that's another thing. I talked about that in another episode, that normal food should be able to sustain them. If it wasn't different from taking over a brain. But yeah, let's see what she has to say. Flies know how to fly without being taught. Yeah. Spiders know how to spin webs without being taught. I get that. Here's what I think. Flies and spiders are simply following a directive. I believe all life on Earth has received a directive of some kind. And that's where Shinichi mentions God, right? Hmm. Her shocked expression when he mentions, like, God, too. I wonder if, like, these parasites could have some concept of a god. But, so she says, when I took over this human's brain, I received a directive. So she's interpreting the instinct that these different, animals and insects and stuff like that have as a directive. So it's not necessarily like, I mean, it very could be something like something hard coded into their DNA to devour the species, right? Like, someone probably deliberately made the food source they desire humans because they want humans to be wiped out. That's assuming that these parasites are made by someone, right? Assuming they're man-made. They could be some kind of alien race that arrived here, but, why eat humans? Like, that's why I really doubt that it's like an alien race, because if they have this desire to eat humans, what would they have done if they landed on a planet that didn't have humans, right? Unless it's just able to adapt. So that's why I don't think it's like alien. That's why I'm leaning more towards like man-made, right? So I don't know. It's definitely fascinating whether it is just like an instinct. Did these things just evolve to this point where they created? Like, I don't know. I wonder if we will ever learn, but it's definitely fascinating. It's too bad that Ryoko is, leaving the school and everything, she kind of made that choice quickly, didn't she? Like, the teachers were kind of, like, really pressing that she, like, talked about the father and stuff like that, and didn't like that she wasn't married and stuff like that, but I don't know that, like, would that have cost her her career? Like, I know Japanese culture is a bit more traditional. I shouldn't say a bit more. It's a lot more traditional than we are here. Like, yes, there's a lot of people in the States that do believe that you should be married before you do stuff like that, but I don't think it would ever stop you. Like, it would never, like, screw up your career, I don't think. At least not typically. There's always exceptions. I'm sure there's people that have lost their jobs because they got pregnant and the business didn't want to pay for, like, you know, there's like the administrative leave or no, maternity leave and stuff like that, where I think you still get, like, paid. I guess I don't really know how maternity leave works, but either way, you know, I think I've even heard that there's companies that, like, don't want to do that and will just fire people kind of thing if they get pregnant. So obviously there's exceptions to every rule and everything, even in the States and all that, but I think it's far less likely than what the situation we have here. This was also 2014. I feel like the farther we go as a society, like, the more fucked up we get as people, the more we loosen up to the idea that the old fucked up shit is okay because we've known it for a while, right? So now, like, you know, when I was younger, I did hear a lot about, like, oh, you don't have sex till you're married kind of thing, and you don't have kids till you're married, and all that, whereas now these days it's, you know, a lot of, like, homophobic tendencies and stuff like that, where people are like, oh no, you don't do that. And, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not against that. I think people should be how they are, you know, whatever you feel as a person, you should express that, in my opinion. But there's a lot of people that are, like, against that, and now, like, people don't care as much about the people that are getting pregnant and they're not married, because there's this new fucked up shit that people worry about. And I bet you anything, in 5 to 10 years, no one's gonna care about, you know, like, people being gay or transgender or any of that stuff that's going on right now that people are so actively against. Some people are actively against, I should say. Not everyone, but some people are so actively against it, it's probably gonna be, like, a very minor group of people that care about that in the future, because then there's gonna be something else 5 to 10 years from now. Who knows what it's gonna be, but it'll be something that people care about at the time, and then they won't care about the older thing, you know? Like, hell, I was thinking about this the other day, like, people are so worried about change. Like, I don't really want to go too deep into this conversation here, because I don't want to make anybody angry. But, like, people are so worried about, like, change all the time. It's crazy. Like, but if you think about it, people are scared. You know, they'll say, like, oh, I'm scared about this whole, like, so many more people are gay now and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, people also used to be scared at the idea that women should be able to vote, right? Like, that used to be something that scared people. And now look at it. Like, no one gives a shit. Like, good. They should be able to vote, right? And it's like, it just, people get scared by things that are different, and it's sometimes not something to be scared about. He's gonna be more progressive. But anyway, I mean, you know, this is coming from a straight white man, right? I don't have much room to talk about this kind of topic. So, but anyway, back to the show before I, like I said, piss anybody off in regards to this topic. But yeah, so we had a bit of a story from Shinichi's mom. You know, very heroic thing of the mom help. You know, obviously Shinichi fell off the stool, almost dropped. I don't know how that pan almost fell. Like, that pan needs to be more stable. Because, like, I mean, I guess, I don't know how, it didn't look like he hit the stove very hard, and that pan just came, like, toppling over. Like, it actually takes a lot of work to topple a pan over. But anyway, it happened, and she caught it, and, you know, some of the burning oil landed on her arm. And I love that this episode really emphasized kind of, like, human instinct, too, right? Like, we had the instinct from Ryoko's mom, who was able to tell that it wasn't her daughter. Like, you see that portrayed in a lot of media where people are able to, like, recognize that kind of thing. Um, and then, you know, we had Shinichi's mom here who saved him from uh, the the oil landing on him, and it's these little things. And then she's so, like, amped up on, like, is my kid okay? I need to make sure my kid is okay, that she didn't even realize she was burned until the husband mentioned something, and then it left that scar. But yeah, can't really blame anyone in that situation, though. You know, like, maybe the mom shouldn't have let him try to do it himself, and then, you know, but then she's so young. It's like sometimes that like it could have very easily gone perfectly fine too, and there could have been no problem whatsoever, and he could have just got down, and then he could have felt proud about himself that he did something on his own, and that itself is something that's good for kids as well, rather than just doing everything for them. But, you know, obviously you got to keep them safe too, and not put them in these, like, in a dangerous situation like that. So it's hit or miss which way is, like, the right way. But, you know, I don't think it's really the mom's fault, and I don't think Shinichi should blame himself either, because he was young, ambitious, you know, that kind of thing happens. So I definitely don't think Shinichi should blame himself. It's definitely not his fault. So, but he did have that little bit of an ashamed look after. But yeah. Anyway, they talked about swapping heads, which I didn't really talk too much about. So is that meaning, like, Ryoko could separate the head from the body and then attach to another body? There's a possibility of rejection, but what would the purpose serve of that? Like, if Ryoko didn't want to be pregnant anymore, or, like, if they wanted to separate, like, if Shinichi wanted to try to separate Ryoko from the body. Well, no, because if you take the head off, it's the body's gonna die anyway, and the baby's dead. I'm an idiot. No, that wouldn't work. I was trying to think, like, oh, we just need to, like, swap heads with you know, someone else, so that way the baby doesn't die. But no, that wouldn't work at all. The body would still just die unless you swapped heads with another Parasyte. But and then maybe the Parasyte could take over Ryoko's body, but I don't think that'd be a good idea either. So anyway, we definitely have this whole, like, relocate they talked about before, where the one Parasyte thought that, or I guess if he was telling the truth, he thought that maybe Migi could transfer arms with the other guy and go with him, kind of thing. So that's still up in the open of whether that's actually possible, the swapping heads theory, which seems possible but could be rejected. And then we also have the idea that they can change the way their face looks and stuff like that too. So, you know, we have all these different methods of changing and stuff like that in this world. It's going to be interesting how all of it gets utilized in the future. It's kind of like where, as the episodes go, we're learning the rules and the limits of these things, and that way when we see them in action later on, we're not confused. It'll be like, ah, yes, they mentioned this episodes ago, kind of thing. So, very interesting. I'm excited to see more. I feel like I said, I feel like we're still in, like, the learning phase, and I feel like as the episodes go, it's just going to get crazier and crazier and kick off even more with what's going on and everything. So, yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. 2 episodes ahead. You can see both of them on there right now. Link is in the description below. It supports what I do here too, which I very much appreciate. And the links will also be popping up on the screen. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.